Oh, I love our group. Look at this. Okay. Okay. I was kind of forced to do this. No, just kidding. But yeah, I'm going to talk about juicing today. In all honesty, I want it to be super informal, like more of a conversation QA versus me presenting at you. And also, I am definitely not an expert, so you guys could also teach me something. I'm a lifelong learner, so if you have any tidbits, let me know. But yeah, I essentially started juicing. My sister, who's older than me, has MS, and so within her health and wellness journey, she kind of dove into the juicing world, bought this big juicer, ended up not kind of liking it for her lifestyle. She just kind of went a different route. So she asked me, hey, you want it? I mean, I'm going to essentially give it away. I think this guy is like, oh gosh, 300, 400 bucks. So she gifted it to us thinking, that with the kids, we'd use it. In all honesty, it sat in my kitchen for about 6 months or longer thinking, like we're going to get rid of this thing. We're not using it. And then we have a garden on our little homestead, and I've got the 2 cutest little garden helpers. It was one like 2 years ago where we literally had a plethora of tomatoes, and it was like killing me. We were just like seeing all this stuff go bad. And I just was like, you know what? I'm going to juice all of these tomatoes and have fresh tomato juice. We can make marinara sauce. We can do pasta sauce from it. So that kind of was the first time I pulled that hunk thing out of the back of our cabinet. And yeah, I was kind of hooked since that point. The kids absolutely love it. They get super excited whenever they hear that thing turn on. They want to help me put all of the things in there. But for gut health, the month that we're kind of going through with our gut health stuff for Wellness Committee, it's actually interesting how it kind of aligned because my mom has Crohn's and diverticulitis. And my son, who a lot of you know, Henry, was experiencing like leaky gut syndrome, which is pretty common with kids with autism. So instead of going like medication route, we really wanted to like dive into like his diet. What could we put in his diet that would help his gut out? And so I have kind of been sneaky in introducing a lot of new things to his diet through juicing. He's a very restricted eater, so this has actually been our way of getting him to eat veggies. So which has really, really helped a lot with his gut. Really don't have any symptoms now to this day. So it was kind of like an accidental passion that I started juicing. I was never somebody that like sought it out online or was really motivated by it. It just kind of like fell into our lap a little bit. So essentially juicing, it's pretty straightforward. It's the extraction of that liquid nutrients from our produce, fruits and veggies. And so when you think about the extraction of the juice, you're releasing it from the cell walls of the produce that it's contained in. And so why is juicing necessarily good for our gut health folks like diverticulitis, leaky gut, all of those things? There's a lot of literature that states that it actually helps restore the intestinal lining through like a healthy inflammatory response. So you're essentially allowing things to kind of stay within the gut instead of like seeping out, which also helps with absorption of nutrients. Since you're breaking down the cell walls, essentially releasing all those nutrients in a liquid form, you have that nutrients very readily available to absorb. If we think of our whole digestive system, like we're all big juicing systems, right? So we put something in our mouth, our stomach breaks it down with acid, and our small intestine absorbs it, right? So all the fluid is what's essentially being absorbed, not like the physical matter, right? And then we excrete what we don't want. So we're really, truly a juicing mechanism. So we're just essentially, with the people that have gut concerns, we're just taking out the middleman of the work of digestion, right? So if you have somebody that's compromised in any sort of way for their gut, you're really decreasing that burden of having to do a lot of the work. Since you're since you're literally straight absorbing straight nutrients and phytonutrients, your immune system's going to see a huge boost also when you're also fighting some of those chronic things that gut people often have. So that's specifically for gut health for this month. But in general, I literally wanted to find one of Casey doing this because that's a common reaction in our household to broccoli. But again, we've been super awesome at sneaking things in. So really for general health and every single person, regardless of gut health or not, you're going to have a bigger dietary diversity of fruits and vegetables by hiding it into things. So like you'll see, my husband doesn't love the taste of cabbage nor the smell, but like you can't really taste the cabbage if it's diluted with grapes or if it's diluted with a sweet, but you're essentially reaping all the benefits of that cabbage, right? We're gonna be able to meet our daily serving sizes within like an 8-ounce cup every morning of your dietary intake for fruits and veggies. Again, we already touched on the absorption of the nutrients, the phytonutrients, since it's already extracted from the cell walls. So you're not having to break all that down internally. And then the hydration that you're going to receive through your cells is just astronomical. It does a lot of detoxifying your body, just cleansing everything, all of your systems out. And it's fun for my kids. It's literally fresh. Like I made this yesterday and like got all of that stuff prepped. And it's convenient as moms. Like literally, if it's prepped, I grab it and go, and you don't have to worry about am I getting enough servings in a day? You can literally drink it in the car on the way to get kids. So yeah, not to mention, literally this is kind of like a broad overview of what fruits and veggies really bring to us as preventative health, right? So I think as healthcare providers, we need to focus and talk more about these properties so we are at the forefront of disease, right? So literally all of these are just a collective list of just what fruits and veggies will bring to you, and just making sure that it's consistent in your diet every single day, in your routine. You're going to reap all of the benefits through all of this. So is there any of this list that like surprises you, or like maybe you had forgotten that just fruits and veggies bring?
No, but after you read it, it's like, man, we really should eat more.
Yeah, and you're not good. I mean, it's literally, I think I had like somebody, was it a professor or something, where she was kind of into all this stuff way back when I was in grad school, and she said, if God didn't grow it, I'm not going to sow it in my body. And so she literally had this narrative of like, this is all the things that were intended to be within our bodies, like always, and not the other stuff. So I get that not all of you are going to run out and buy a $300 juicer or a $400 juicer, whatever it is, but these two products are at Aldi, and they're like $5. They're super great. The ingredients list, I will always tell you to search the ingredients list, and you should be able to literally just see vegetables and fruits. That's a really awesome option. As you can see, I reuse the cans of those too. So yeah, those would probably be my top two for ease and cost efficiency. And then these are also two other good brands. So yeah, I just have some listed. You just have to really be cautious and mindful of when you buy store-bought brands that there are no additive sugars. Fruit has enough sugar in general baseline, so you just want to make sure you're not adding anything in that your body doesn't need or want. So
how many servings are in those?
I think that's a good question.
Like one drink for the day? Or?
Yep, so I usually do like an 8-ounce to 12-ounce juice a day.
Okay.
Yeah, so and really I've been consistent with that for like 6 months, and I was like, I love coffee. I'm never going to give coffee up regardless if I have all the energy naturally. I just love the taste of it. It's a ritual, but I do feel as though that I was able to bounce back from sicknesses easier. We still got them, but the bounce back period of my family and I just feel like is a little bit faster. Overall, in general, I just feel like I'm healing and feeling good from the inside out, essentially. But yeah, it's a whole, kind of culture, lifestyle change where you just kind of embrace more of the natural aspects if you can. I wanted to touch base on this because I know majority of you probably have blenders. Does everybody have blenders at home? Okay, so there's actually literature that came out in March of this year. I'm a big research nerd, by the way. And so they actually came out with that juicing is actually not good if you do like a 30-day juice cleanse that you've heard. I always default back to what my grandma's always said, everything in moderation, right? So juicing in moderation, blending in moderation. But essentially, juicing, you're going to extract everything from the produce, leaving behind all of the solid waste materials, including dietary fiber. Okay, so when you juice, you strip all of the dietary fibers out of what you're consuming. Blending, right? So it wouldn't be good to always juice, right? Because then you'd be forfeiting a lot of the dietary fiber. Blending, you actually liquefy the whole produce item with an additive liquid, but you are reaping the benefit of the dietary fibers. So dietary fibers, obviously blending, if you want that in your diet, blending will be a better option. For me, if I don't have time to juice because it's kind of a bigger thing than blending, I use these really easy to throw in my blender with all of the other fruits and veggies. And just these products like chia seeds, protein powders are going to be more best for like the blender than the juicer. If you put powder in a juicer, you'll have a dust storm in your kitchen. So it essentially, if you want to have those additive collagens or whatever you want, the blender is going to be your best option. Concentrated small amount of nutrients, you're going to want juice. I had a friend of mine who's got a kiddo that has a G-tube and has been really struggling with nutrition, and so she's literally embraced this, and so she's been able to literally replace all of his supplementals with juicing. So if you think like concentrated nutrition, you think juice. Okay, this is a really great website. I got all of the recipes from this website here. So yeah, check that out if you're interested. Okay, you guys ready to see a demo?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna put gloves on because I just keep everybody healthy and safe. But the first one that we're going to make is the anti-inflammatory detox juice. You're going to see kind of all of the benefits, kind of the calorie intake if you're mindful. I don't know if I mentioned this in the other slide, but my rule of thumb when I'm kind of making them is that I try to stick to like an 80-20 ratio. So you want to have about 80% of it veggie, 20% of it fruit. And so you're reaping kind of the max benefit health-wise. Some of these just say as I say, not as I do. But yeah. So okay. Anyway,
This brand is your juicer?
a Breville. Is that how you say it? Breville. Yeah. Okay. There's two options on this one. There's a high and a low. I've only used the high. I have no idea what the other one does. So, and it's messy. That's why the kids love it. So it's just gonna get a little loud. I always just like cut them up beforehand and just throw it in. You guys smell that yet? You smell it? Yeah, you just slice it up. And ginger, you don't have to this is a whole ginger. You just put it in there. That's it. Do you see how all of it's kind of spitting out the back? So this is all that's going in right now. The pineapple is going to yield a lot of juice, which is so yummy. Do you smell that? Am I just smelling that? You guys smell it? Literally, come smell it.
Oh, I can smell it from right here.
It smells so good. Oh, this is where I'm like pina coladas, y'all.
Oh. Yeah. A little closer towards that.
You guys can come over here if you want. You want to be my helper? As you see, the greens actually don't yield a whole lot of fluid, but the nutrients are so dense in it that that's why it's worth it. Woo! Sorry. I told you, it's a little messy. Hi! Come on in. Your microphone's probably hating me right now. This is where, no. So they are only able to like drop it. Yeah. Yep. I do the greens because, yeah, you kind of have to push it down just a little bit. So that's where we're at right now. Do you guys see that? So if you guys are like clean freaks, this might be hard to watch, but just embrace it. Think of all of the nutrients you're reaping. And I have white cabinets, you guys. It's terrible. Okay, so that's literally all of that. I made this obviously a bigger batch. And then you just mix. I don't know if you guys see. Yes. I usually do about 3 to 4 because it just doesn't last very long in my house. But I wonder if you like freeze it, and I've never done a freezing, like putting it in bags, but I'm sure you could. Yeah.
Probably, I'm guessing it's so yummy it's gone.
Yes, and literally this so we've got cabbage, red cabbage, grape juice, carrot, pineapple, orange juice, and then this one. My kids are obsessed with this one. They think it's orange juice. Casey also loves her fresh apple juice. She's kind of a snob now where she won't drink store-bought apple juice. So yeah, and then I just pour it in a mason jar and it goes straight in the fridge. No straining. Do you see how purified that is? Yep. So that's it.
So what do you do with all that stuff?
Well, when we had chickens, the chickens would love it, but we just put it in our compost now. So yeah, essentially you've got all of your, yeah. Don't put it in your trash. It'll stink tomorrow and you'll hate that. So we have enough space where it either goes in the compost or our chickens.
So how difficult is it to clean that?
You just rinse it. I wouldn't make it sit here and have it all hardened. I literally juice. I put this on. I put this straight in the sink. Essentially just rinse everything. I do have a bristle brush for the filter. And that's it. That's it, you guys. So anyways, there's that one. But then I think I had just some, oh yeah. You do want to peel the orange.
Why is that?
Because it's very bitter. The outside's very, very bitter if you don't.
So same with if you did any type of lemons.
Well, actually, lemons and limes are all right. Some do call to peel it, but then you just go off of more weight. Yeah, all of those citrusy things I peel. So, and then that's the red cabbage.
Is that like red grapes or no?
No, it's black grapes.
So in that one you do the limes and the orange peel both of them?
Yep.
Dark red grapes?
Yep, like the dark sweet.
Okay.
Yep. If you have more of a bitter, like a bok choy is really bitter for me. Like I can't handle bok choy and watercress like that very punchy green. I know, Maddie, you think I like drink the earth, and I love you, but I like couldn't handle that even eating it, right? If it wasn't like for lemon and ginger and like the sweet grape and the Oh, you guys.
Really cool. So,
That's
I
it.
mean, I might be giving you a little extra credit.
Oh,
Might not be
thanks.
all Earth,
So
but
do you
Yeah.
do any blending now at all?
Yes.
You do.
Yeah.
Still.
So like this one, there's some that, so like turmeric, ginger, cinnamon, and pepper. Some of them like with really anti-inflammatory options, it's hard to get like store-bought fresh stuff. So I literally buy it in like a powder form. So this, you would just essentially put it in your blender with your stuff. So that's stuff that I would just buy, just cost efficient wise. It's easier to do that versus like buying all of those things online. Yeah. This is the youaresuper.com. So this is a spirulina, I think, barley grass, wheatgrass,
And what would you mix that with?
just like banana, avocado, yogurt, that type of thing in a blender. And this is, I think, just like a plethora of good probiotic stuff. So but yeah, definitely more of your blending options. So who wants to try some? What do you guys want to try? All of you guys come on up. You feed and just fuel your soul, and however you feel you need to be fueled.
You need to shake it.